Is my mic on? My mic is on. Hello and welcome to Season 4, Episode 24 of Fabrically Speaking Live. I'm your host, Claire Rowley, and today we're going to play around with a table runner using the fastest method I could think of to make a very attractive table runner for Thanksgiving. Are any of you doing the celebrating this year or the hosting and need a new table runner? This is a pretty fall fabric that I found cut really well, and I decided to have this be in the middle and then do some quilting as you go to piece this together. So have you ever done quilt as you go? If you have, give me a thumbs up. Hi Paula, hi Amy. And did it work right, you guys? Hi, Wendy. Did the link that you clicked on to when you got the notification actually take you here? Because I did something a little bit different, and I'm hoping that we don't lose our connection because I never was able to get a hold of anyone from tech support. But if you don't know I had trouble last like 3 times ago, or the link wasn't working each time, then you don't need to be bothered with all this nonsense talk. My iron wasn't on. I turned it on twice. Yay, well that's good. Oh my. Are you guys ready for Thanksgiving? Turns out I'm going to be hosting with my friend Terry for her family. And I'm excited to cook the turkey. I think I shared my marinade with you guys in the school last Thanksgiving. And know this, Amy, I'm going to be posting the pattern for the Christmas stocking in the VIP group when I'm done here today, so that you can get prepared for the Christmas stocking session next week. Yes, I'm going to do it. And I thought I'd also show how to embroider or monogram on a fur top of a Christmas stocking. Would you guys like me to show you how you can do that with your regular sewing machine? I'm tempted to take the crease out of the center of this fabric, but that shows me the center of the fabric, so I'm going to leave it. And in case you guys wanted to know what fabric this was, I kept the selvage. I'm not sure it's going to bear us what we need. High fashion fab is what it says on here. And this is all I have left of it. Odds are I got it at Joann's Fabric. I cut my batting the size that I want my table runner to be in width, which is 18 inches wide, and then I have it so that it'll take up almost an entire 6-foot folding table, because the current table that we have at the house is round. And I figured I'd put a nice complimentary tablecloth down first and then the table runner over it. Hi Iris, welcome. What are you doing in Chicago? I thought you were... Why do I feel like you weren't in Chicago? So I'm going to, and the reason I got all excited about Iris, everyone, so you don't feel bad, is that she was part of the Babbling Brook course. And if I remember correctly, she was driving in her car during one of the live sessions. Am I right about that, Iris? If I'm not remembering, just know your name is really stands out in my memory. So you can see how much extra fabric I have on the sides. And you should take the time to measure so that it's centered. This is the bamboo batting. And if it's too big, I can always trim it down. Measuring requires you know where your measuring tape is. I'm organized. Such a happy fabric. I decided Thanksgiving is something all of us in the United States share, and I know other countries also participate in similar holidays where you celebrate your heritage. And honestly, I want a table runner for my dresser because it's not as pretty. The wood is damaged. So what a nice thing to be able to do. Just throw a big, beautiful quilted runner on top of it and hide all the imperfections in the wood. So I have this set to 2 3/4 on that side. And this is 3 1/4, so that's not centered. So what should it be? Can you guys do the math? Is it? That really depends on the size of this, and this may not be accurate. It's about 3 inches on either side. So how can we make this grow without having to work hard at it? And the first piece of fabric is set down with the right side facing up, and then we're going to sew right side down on top of it and do a stitch and then flip it over and do a stitch and flip it over and build this table runner. You can be really careful, or you can really have fun with this and cut things at different directions. Of course, I think because of the beauty of this that I should keep it somewhat uniformed. And I was going to have all this cut, but I couldn't get my close-up camera to work today. And so it's not even plugged in. Sorry about that. Beats the heck out of me. It shows up. It just won't work with the feed. I was thinking black would be a nice accent to go on the lengths, and I have a lot of it. This is when I wish you guys could talk. It's a different Iris. You're not that reckless. Interesting. I mean, I swear the last name too is so similar. This would be the easiest way, would be to just cut this on the angle, but then I'd be wasting fabric. I don't like wasting fabric, do you? I know that this is going to make it so that it'll end up with this, so I'm going to cut 2 3-inch strips. You probably wonder how I ever get anything done as disorganized as I am on live feeds. It's simply because I don't only do this. I do a lot of other things. That's why I'm starting to do the filmed versions. Because some people don't watch me live. They're like, live, ew. No, that's too much yakking. people talk to people, and we don't have any desire to do that. Do you guys usually watch live feeds, or do you usually go, nah, it's too much talking? Right now it's preparing to rain, and it's cool outside. They say in Arizona the fall is the 4 seasons. We wake up and it's winter, and then by about 10 it's spring, and then about now it's summer, and then we'll come into fall when it's time for me to leave work. So I had the heater going earlier, and then I had to have the air conditioner on. What temperature is it where you are, and has it snowed yet? I'm hoping for a lot of snow this year. Try to have a nice, clean 3-inch strip. A clean desk is a sick mind. Yeah, they say that. I've been keeping myself tidy in between. Yesterday, I actually took the time to straighten everything up. I have to have some organization. If you had snow, Amy, I would have snow, right? So I think I'm going to do a couple more cuts of 3-inch strips. If I have them already cut, it's easier. I have a Christmassy jelly roll, and I was thinking about using it. But not everyone celebrates Christmas, so. Hello, Wendy from the Adirondacks. Have the two Wendy's met yet? Have you guys chatted with each other? Did you guys catch this morning's video release? I'm starting to, whenever I upload a video, do a premiere. And I didn't really give you much notice this morning because the video was supposed to release early this morning. But something went wrong on YouTube, so I just finally it worked, and I went, oh well, I'm just gonna release it now. I'm not that fond of this fabric, but I think it'll go really nice as a compliment. What do you guys think? I have this one also. And I will give you the top view so you can have an opinion. Did I go overboard on those bowl coat or on these? Did I do too many videos? I think I just got really excited about it. I love the name, Rubber Husband. Should I use this one? Oop, I think this one's a no-go. we'll see what we do here. First things first, I'm going to sew these. So on the sides, it's going to be that. You loved seeing both versions? Good. I didn't overdo it. I don't like boring you guys. But a lot of people don't know they can embroider with their sewing machine. And I love my octi hoops. In case you don't know that. So I already have these cut, and they're going to be the same size as these. I'm going to put right side down against this, and then you sew a seam with the batting beneath. And I really should, and I'm going to, because I think I'm going to like this. I have never bored you yet. You guys are incredibly patient. There was a 6.5-hour video. You guys remember that one? The Creative Feet show, because everyone was like, I miss seeing you at a show. I never got to see you at a show. So I filmed what I do at a show, and it turned out to be a 6.5-hour long video. And I was like, did anyone ever really see the whole show? I don't think so. I love your hat, Wendy. So what I want to do is make sure that this doesn't slip. And rather than gluing the fabric, I glue the binding or the batting. I'll turn you off. So I'll tell you what, I've been saying the word sew way too much. I had to edit it out a lot on that video. I put dots of the basting glue down and then slide my fingers over it so that I spread it out. And then lay that down. And this is how I'd recommend you do it on a quilt, is to divide it in half. So you're not doing the entire quilt all at once. The stabilizer, or the batting, is like a stabilizer. It really grabs hold of that fabric. You think you watched the whole 6.5 hours? You're the one. Here we go. So basically what you want to do is know that your quilt top is where it needs to be. And then you can fold back half of the top, and in this case I'm just going to put little drops on the batting to keep it from slipping as I manipulate this. It's nearly impossible to get the fabric to slip on the bamboo batting. If you've used it before and you have an opinion about it, let people know so they know I'm not just saying it. This is why you don't see me safety pin. There's no need. So this is how I would handle a large quilt. I would take and fold back the quilt and then place 4-inch drops of glue in kind of a grid pattern along the batting, and just do a little bit at a time. And then you lay it down like you would lay shelf paper down. I got some batting up my nose, I think. Isn't this awesome? I love it. I know what it's like to sew without it. Woo. The batting loves me. I must have clogged it up. Or didn't put any down because that moved. There we go. So it's similar to what you've been told to do with safety pins. Quadrant off your locations where you would pin, and then just kind of brush your finger so that they're no longer dots. They're more of a smear. I think I'm going to make some more bowl cozies as well for Christmas. You guys have any other great ideas for Christmas gifts? I was thinking, since one of my top viewed videos is a satin lined quilted zipper bag, that I would do that again. This is the glue. It dries just like a normal water-soluble stabilizer. Now, to make sure that this doesn't slip on you, you can glue this as well before sewing. I have my center fold for both fabrics. And now we'll find out if the black fabric is longer. The selvage is still there, but I can sew the next piece right over it, so you don't have to cut it. And I apologize if I said salvage instead of selvage. Some things really bug people, and that's one that I have found that people get bothered by. Whew. Okay. Same thing that I just did, except for now you can place the drops just right along where your two edges will meet. So you kind of sew with the glue before you sew with the sewing machine. Once again, a very, very light sliding across the surface to keep the fabric, or to keep the glue from being a dot, but rather it spreads out and becomes a 100% of one fabric connected to 100% of the other fabric, and you don't have to worry about your fabric shifting on you when you sew. Waiting for this to dry fully is ideal. However, I'll bet most of you have learned by now that you don't have to really wait for it to dry. Do you guys wait for it to dry? Or do you just glue and sew and glue and sew? This fabric is so old, I have no idea what state I was living in. I may have actually been living in California when I bought it. It's really a good quality fabric as well. If you have fabrics and they've gotten old and they don't look quite as nice as they did, spray starch will make them perform better. While you're gluing, it makes sense to glue the next piece down as well. And that gives this time to dry as well. Oh. So you can see it's still damp, and it makes it repositionable for a good amount of time should you need it. You don't wait for it to dry. I'll tell you, the one time I would wait for it to dry for sure would be sewing piping in. when I have you glue the piping into the pillow before sewing it. I got my hair colored. Does that look better? Last week I noticed my hair was not looking that good on the top. Of course, I didn't really know I was getting my head into the shot. Camera angle has changed. I actually color my own hair, by the way. And I had 2 illnesses over the last few weeks. So if I have not been as responsive as you guys would like, know that that's what's going on with me. I guess I pushed too hard. Pushed myself a little bit too hard and ran myself down. Feeling better. I'm pretty much back to my old self. When I touch, I'm not pushing hard. I'm just like patting, as if I would pat a brand new baby on the head. You wouldn't want to pat hard, would you? And that just gets you want the glue to stay between the 2 layers of fabric, not get pushed into the fabric. And it always looks like I got dry skin because I get the glue on my fingers. One time, I actually spread out the glue on my sewing machine, or more than once actually, at a show, and let it dry, and then I peeled it up so people could see that it is just water-soluble stabilizer. Which is why this works great for sewing stretch fabrics together. And that'd be a time when I would definitely let it dry. So now we just want to move our needle over 1/4 of an inch and sew a 1/4 inch seam allowance on top of the batting. With the Satinedge Foot, it guides right along that edge with my needle in the left needle position. And this foot does come with adapters to make it fit all sewing machines. As long as you have a zigzag stitch, you're going to be able to do this. Now, if you have a sewing machine and it's only a straight stitch, you can also use the Satinedge Foot and all of the Creative Feet. You just don't have the ability to do everything because you don't have a zigzag stitch. I have a straight stitch on. I got a dark gray polyester thread, and it is the, I don't know what number it is, the sticker popped off. Here it is. 5411, I think, and you can't really trust me on that. But a dark gray color is a good color to piece with because it drops into the shadows of the fabric. I know that I'm going to be cutting or sewing over here, so I don't want to go all the way over to here. I'm going to take my needle and bring it up a little bit. This is a left needle position and a straight stitch. And my eye is focused here on the white part of the guide, making sure that the fabric stays there. So as I'm sewing, I am actually holding my fabric up like this with my elbow down and already wishing my pillow was there. Look at this woman. She needs a pillow to sew. So the elbow pillow, it helps you keep your elbow down. It's good posture. I should be sitting in front of my computer or my sewing machine, but I have a bunch of equipment here, so I'm off to the side. So it should be easier for you. This is a good way to hold the fabric. So does this make sense? What we are doing is actually piecing and quilting these fabrics to the batting in one step. After I sew all these pieces, I can go in here and quilt with the octi hoops, which is my plan. Are you guys ready for Thanksgiving? If you are, let me know. Tell me what's going on. What's on your sewing table? You should be able to sit a distance away from your needle. The distance your eyes should be from the needle is the distance it takes for you to read something. So if you can't read like this, you shouldn't be sitting like that. And this foot allows you to be able to sit from a distance as the foot is feeling or sensing, or it doesn't feel or sense anything because it's an inanimate object, but it seems as though it guides for you. This is why people call it the magic foot, because it seems like it magically behaves as if it's alive. And it's your co-pilot. Is the chat frozen? You guys aren't participating. I need to know if there's something wrong with the chat, or if you just are not in the mood to type. I'm going to flip it around and do the other side. You don't sew the zipper the right way? Do you need... So next week, I remember I'm doing recorded videos as well. So the stocking is going to be a recorded video. And the VIP group is getting the pattern today. And this is the stocking that I'm referring to. For next week's show, I have this beautiful lined, satin lined, oh, where's it? I think it might be right here. Nope. I don't know where I put it. Wasn't that long ago we moved and all of our samples are not where, I actually don't know where all the samples are. I've been finding them little bit by little bit. This is a 34-year career of sewing lots of different things and keeping them for reference. So the satin lined makeup bag, still my favorite bag of all the bags I've made. You like that too? Isn't it pretty? Hand pink waving. Hi, so Terry. Welcome everyone. You're ready for Thanksgiving? Oh, you get to be cooked for. You know, that's, it's not very often I'm cooked for. I didn't have that glued right. So I'm making a turkey. One of the things my mom used to make, my friend Terry used to come over for Thanksgiving a lot, and she has asked me to make it. And it's a zucchini squash, and she would put cream of chicken soup inside the squash and then lay stuffing on top of it. And I've adapted for people like me with food allergies or food sensitivities to not use Campbell's soup, but instead I use heavy whipping cream. But I'm going to be making that as well. It's really good. And what I'll do is I'll share that recipe inside of the school should any of you want to try it. It's really delicious and a favorite. We haven't had anyone in the family not like it. Even the little ones always like it. Your kitchen isn't big enough for Barbie? See, that depends on if it's the Barbie that was in the movie or a Barbie. So you can relate to me living or working in this small space. It's funny because on the chat, I can't see the pink hand. So Terry, but I can see it in my cell phone. Then you just take and you just press over, and there you go. You've got your seam allowance and your stitch in a ditch sewn at once. It's pretty quick, huh? Of course, the faster thing in this case would be for me just to use the iron. You just want to get it pressed open. Now, if you overglued and you went past your 1/4 inch seam allowance, you can take a damp washcloth and just wipe the glue right off. I was thinking about maybe adding a block on the side so that I could do some, I don't know, maybe cut. I don't even think I have any of this fabric. Is it too stark? This is my issue every time I make a quilt, by the way. It's hard for me to have these plain fabrics in there. But if I did that, then I could do some type of a quilting design that's colored. Maybe try to duplicate that look with maybe just the quilting stitch. What do you think? Because, you know, we can do whatever we want. Should I now make it a box and then that, ooh. We could do a small strip of this. It looks very classy, doesn't it? There's probably someone going, classy? No, that's not classy. Here's the other fabric option. So now I'm thinking this is just a no-go. Say yes or no to the brown. This should just go, I think. Because it's batik and this isn't. But I do love this fabric. I want to do something with it with you guys. Maybe you can help me come up with an idea. Well, you all agree. It's very rare that you all agree. That gave the iron time to heat up. This I do every once in a while. You guys, I'm going to be making myself a new ironing board that is the size of the Ultra tablet. And just so you know, the CutterPillar company I believe are starting to make their product in the United States. I'm not sure of that, but I'm pretty sure. So I know that's what they were trying for. And they needed to get someone to help them to make that transition. A company or a partner. And they have acquired that. Their products are so popular that they sell out, and we're waiting months for them to come in. The latest is that the price is going up, so now is the time to buy. The price list is being created, and then once it's created, it's going up. So not only is the price going up, and you're going to be getting the new boards that come in, but we are having a sale right now. I turned back on our member 20 coupon, which is all uppercase, the word member, and then 20, the 2 and a 0, for you guys to the Thanksgiving present. And on orders over $69 US, you get free shipping. If you're outside of the United States and you're wondering if we ship outside, we do, but the price is higher for shipping. However, we do credit you back. After the order is finished and the product is shipped, we give you back what it would cost to ship the item in the United States. So we kind of share the cost of the shipping with you. Not sure what you guys said, but I'm leaning toward doing this. And I need to make sure that I have this line up with that. Now I need to give you guys something to say, so yes, because the word no is a negative. I look at the feed and it just says a bunch of no's, no's, no's. Thank you, Linda. Wishing you also a happy Thanksgiving a week early. So to make it easier than gluing across here, I'm going to glue across this edge. And this is a selvage there. Try to keep that right along the edge so that it gets buried in your 1/4 inch seam allowance. And just slide your finger across. And this is the edge of my selvage. Does this seem a lot less stressful than building a quilt another way, you guys? This is a really good beginner method. These are my favorite shears. We carry them at Creative Feet. These are the Kai scissors. I have very small hands, and my hands aren't what they used to be. I'm going to take it past, just in case I don't cut it straight. If your fabric edges are out, sticking out, well, you can always make it smaller, but you can't make it bigger. So less stressful, yes. It's easy peasy. This is the easiest way, fastest way of putting a quilt together. Unless you want to, go through and make and do the math, and which can be fun. I can't find my quilt, by the way. So for those of you who wanted me to finish my quilt, the ceiling is relatively low in here, and I'm probably going to do a rigging and try to quilt my full king size quilt in here. The batting is just everywhere right now. Is Lynn in here? I didn't see. If you are, hello Lynn. What temperature is it in Australia right now? Are we going to be envious? I guess it hasn't gotten that cold here yet for any of us to feel jealous. So what I'm looking at is the edge of the black fabric. The black fabric is sticking up above the selvage, and that the foot feels that little black fabric on top of that. So it may look, you may think that I'm guiding this, but I'm really not. I'm just kind of holding it up and letting the sewing machine feed dogs pull the fabric through. So just arms are out about 8 inches on either side of the foot, and I'm lifting the fabric up so that it doesn't get stuck on anything. With my eye focused on the white part of the guide, even though that's not the part that's doing the guiding, it's something I can focus on from a distance. Go all the way off. Oh, that's right. Lynn is country silkworm. Hi, Lynn. Do you have any kind of Thanksgiving for Australia? Do you know that I had absolutely no idea what I was going to do like 15 minutes before I went live? And I just went, what's the easiest thing, the fastest thing that you can put together? And this fabric was already cut to this size. I know some of you are not surprised at all. Even though I could probably guide without gluing, there's no way I would even put myself through it. It's so much easier to just know that you're positioned, especially when you're dealing with not really using straight edges. The glue is just a godsend. Yes, you can use this on any fabric. There's some really cute panels that you can buy as well. That have different characters, so you could complete an applique for the main part. This is something I got probably 30 years ago. Joy Noel Wreath Panel by Daisy Kingdom. 1998, you guys. Printed with pride in the USA. Wow. Slide your finger across, and now take the time to position it, making sure that your selvage is out. So the important part was that I cut the strip straight. And these strips, if you're following along, this is I can't remember what I did on this panel. Let's see. We've lost a 1/4 inch on either side, so it's 12 now. So I had a 12.5 inch wide strip, and this is normally 27, and we have an inch on either side. So this is about 24 inch wide panel, or long panel. So now I'm going to sew 1/4 inch over. A 1-finger typer. I was thinking about doing a center table kind of placemat thing for the round table. It would be so nice to have them match. But I don't have any more of this fabric. I may take it to the store, and wouldn't it be something if they have some. Maybe I can get something that at least complements it. Are you saying you're not sure about the cream color fabric or the cream in the food? Because I talked about cream. I could just have it be this is it. Doesn't even have to be bigger. I could just cut it and start quilting it right now. That would just be so upsetting. I really don't like this fabric. So if I have it, I would just want a little bit of it. Maybe just a small strip. I want to do something with this. Aren't they cute? I can't throw away any part of Lorelei's Designs fabrics. That would actually have been a cute little bottom half. That's my last video on my YouTube channel if you haven't seen it yet. And it is a rubber husband mitt. And this is it plain. What should I do, you guys? I lost my black fabric strips. I do have to have a binding as well. Should I just end it on the black, you guys? It doesn't have to have all these other colors. Let's think about it. It's just for the center of a folding table. I could get to quilting if I don't. I feel like quilting. No, what? No on that color? It's not very pretty. Should I just end it on this? Why not? Because the batting's already cut. And then I was thinking the back fabric could have that rubber stuff that we use, the shelf liner, so that it sticks on the table, so the table runner isn't slippery. All right, if you guys vote for me to stop piecing and start quilting, type quilt. And I will know that you're done with me putting fabrics together. And here's the thing, I can always make more pieces later. I don't have to cut this. I do need to get it to behave. So I'm going to roll it up. And this is kind of what you do on a bigger quilt as well. Quilt, quilt. You guys were fast on that. Oh my goodness. I can't wait to quilt it. Thank you for being my friends and letting me do what I want. Now if I can find my quiltlets, which I don't know if I've used them at this location yet. And when we sold out of the quiltlets, we have to make more. So I can't steal from inventory. These are my zippers. So I have decided next week will be the quilted lined makeup bag, which is a great gift for yourself or someone else. I don't see another one, so I'll just have to show you how you attach these, and they come in bags. You get 20 elastic straps and 20 large safety pins. And the way that they work, I like to keep about 18 inches open to quilt. So if this was a full quilt, it would just be 18 inches wide all the way up. And you quilt from one end to the other. Unlike other methods where they have you start in the middle and work your way out, you could literally get rust color thread and do all the rust flowers. Then go back through with brown and quilt all the brown centers and not get a single pucker. And then quilt all the green. So you're only changing your color once for this 18-inch spans all the way up your quilt. Because of the octi-hoop design. So this is the process. You have your elastic and fold it at the end so that it lasts longer. And then you pin through it. Let's go tighter. There we go. And then you, every like 8 to 9 to 10 inches, you would pin on both sides of your quilt, even. So you don't want one down here and one up there. You want to have them be placed evenly up the quilt. And as I'm doing this, I'm looking, wishing I could just at least find one more of these. Then you pin through the quilt, not the roll. Find the pin. You want to not have this get twisted either. So you don't want it twisted like that, because this is going to be around your wrist. And then you go like that. And then when you pin, you want the pin to go this way. So when you're finished, you have pins going up, and they're going up, not coming at an angle at risk of being struck by the needle. I'm going to use the octi hoops for quilting, because we have already quilted these pieces to the batting. The batting can't move, and I did glue a 4-inch grid on the batting. So this fabric, every 4 inches, there's a little dot of glue keeping this from shifting. So you could go ahead at this point and just stitch across if you're shy about doing free motion right now. But know that the octi hoops make it much easier. Deciding which of the octi hoops goes on top is the part that people get nervous about. Just know that the size that's closest to your hand in size is ideal for the top. This one is then the bottom one for me, but some people like to use the big one on the bottom and the small one on top, and then they move around within the perimeter. It's all in how your brain works. My brain does not like that method. My brain prefers this method where I grab and never have more than an inch of space in there. I don't know what you said no for, Lynn. So your nose just hanging there because too much time lapses between. So we have this larger frame goes on the bottom and the smaller frame goes on top. And then this little handle, you get 2 in the kit. For quilting, you only use 1. And then you just draw using your fingers. You see how this is not attached to this and this is not attached to that, but they will all move together on the sewing machine. I'm removing the presser foot and putting the lid back on my glue. I've had a little bit of a weak voice over the last couple of days. We had 2 months of controlled burns in our area. 2 months of smoke in the air. And now, because it's getting chilly, people are running their heaters or their fireplaces. So I took the needle off and I'm going to use an 8012 universal, an 8012 super universal needle because it's just a fantastic needle for free motion quilting. Any one of the super universal needles will serve you well on this. And because this is such a thin quilt, I don't need a real heavy needle. But do I have an 8012 right here? Because I'm just going to use a 9014. Sorry, I got the sniffles. Hello. What's on your sewing table, you guys? Any of you making Christmas presents? Are any of you making a rubber husband? I tell you, those come together so quick. Could probably make, if you thought about it, like an assembly line. Oh, there's so much batting on me. It has static cling, and I am also a bit clingy. I'm the one that gets shocked every time I go shopping by my shopping cart. Do you get shocked when you go shopping, you guys? Or is it just me? Doesn't seem to matter what store I go to. All these questions I've asked and you're not answering me. Yeah, cats can't get the shelf liner off. You're right, Brenda. There's a reason to use it. You could also make a just amazing feeling. I made a mat for my sound booth, and I used the Timtex, and I used a furry minky, and have that on the on top of it. And I'm like, that is the best feeling bath mat. And you could easily put the rubber shelf liner on the back side of that and make a bath rug. I just went around with the Satinedge Foot and I went around twice with the satin stitch. I mean, basically you couldn't even see the stitch because of the fur. That was fast, and it feels better than any rug I've ever stepped on. Oh my goodness. So I'm loving having that underneath my arms. You get shocked all the time, Brenda? I think it depends on the store. Well, Costco is definitely a challenge for me. Now this is a lot to quilt, and I know that I said all these things to you, so what would you like me to do? Would you like me to put a color thread on, or maybe go around the sunflowers with a dark color so you can see the outline, or use a yellow on the, while I look for the yellow, you guys tell me, yellow or black? This green is really pretty. Any excuse I have to use this green, I like to use it. So if you like to have the favorite colors of mine, this is 6482 in the Polyfast. It's like a really light lime green color. Excuse me. Bye, Iris. Too close. There we go. So this one, it really doesn't attach to anything. The back side of the hoop is uneven and it makes it really slippery on the bed of the machine, and it just goes beneath. And then the top frame is separate, as there are no clamps or screws on the Octi hoops. You just use resistance. So you pull the two frames together and then it locks the quilt to the frames. Everything is stuck together. To get the quilt to move, you wear it. And then you keep your elbows down so you're not bearing the weight of the quilt. Now I should have another strap on this side to put my wrist through, because otherwise it can get dragged on the bed of the sewing machine. So you guys want color thread? I see Iris meant more to you than I did. You didn't answer my question, but you said goodbye to Iris. I think I'll make my own decision. I'm going to use a brown. And on the yellow sunflowers, and show you, and the green thread. You like the green thread? So I'll have a little fun with you guys. And this number is 9324. It's a beautiful, beautiful brown, almost a cinnamon color. And the camera is definitely not seeing this the right color. So let's see. I would think, just think of cinnamon sticks. That is what it is. And I'm going to take this gray thread off. Gray in the bobbin is a great idea, though. And this is like gray hair. Gray. Salt and pepper gray hair. Hi, Linda. Did you figure out how to get into the Babbling Brook? Know that I'm here to help you, and I know that I saw you inside the school. So just let me know if you need any help. That's not in a chat like this, but in the school you can click reply to my chat message to you. Yeah. See how pretty it is? Oh, you can't see there. It's a lovely color. The bobbin doesn't matter because I don't have a backing on the fabric. And that's why whatever I want to put on the back I can use, which means I can use the I cut my finger with the thread, the shelf liner. And I'm thinking that this is paintable. I have a feeling the fabric paint that I have will absorb into this, and I can make this whatever color I want. So that's something I'm going to play with this week, and I'll let you guys know. I almost bought another color today at the store, and I went, I got to try that first. Because if I can make this any color, then you only need white. And if you don't know about, who's got the dog? So Terry, that looks just like my sister's dog. It's a Shih Tzu. They're so cute. I wish that my other camera would have worked today, but this is looking pretty good. I'm going to do something you can see well. Wherever you want to quilt. And I'm doing this so that I can wear the quilt. There we go. The other side is not being held by anything. I want to at least safety pin it. Do I have an extra safety pin? Oh, I have. No. Just one more elastic strap, please. This is me asking my angels to help me find one more elastic strap in here. I was just too organized when I moved out of my last location. Have you ever been so organized that you can't find anything because you organized it in some way your brain normally doesn't work? And now you're like, well, what would I do now? Well, not what I did then. Everything went into little bags and into little boxes, and I tried to use clear Tupperware so I could see, and I cannot find that. This is the Polyfast brand of thread that we have at creativefeet.com. You can use any thread that you like. I think this safety pin was used for something I shouldn't have used it for. Okay. I'm just going to struggle. And that's good, so you can see. Why you want the quiltlets is so that the quilt gets lifted up by your larger muscle groups. There we go. So I would normally be wearing both, and since I don't have both, I'm not going to use either. Clearing a spot for my elbow, my right elbow to rest. This is a 40 weight, yes. Putting on my glasses because I'm going to follow a path. I'm going to stitch around the sunflower. So I need to be able to see the sunflower. And then I look where I want the needle to go, not at the needle. And you're always heading in a direction that you want the needle to get to and never actually at the needle. Just like when you walk, you don't walk looking at your feet. You look where you're going to go so you don't fall over because you hit a curb or something. I'm sure some of you can come up with some funny analogies for why you want to look. We're going to bring the bobbin thread up through the fabric using a straight stitch, and even though there's no presser foot on the machine, I do lower the presser foot bar. If you don't, your tension discs are not closed. Then we go ahead and bring the bobbin thread up. Put your finger down on top of it. Elbows down, shoulders relaxed. And I'm wishing I had a lighter bobbin. I'm going to lower my thread tension. And that will reduce the chance of the bobbin thread getting pulled to the top. Yeah, I'm not going to even continue. That bobbin's too dark, and it's just going to show. Don't need a black bobbin. And this is the Deco Bob 80 weight, made by the same company that makes the Polyfast. Of course, I could wind a bobbin, but I don't want you to have to wait. I'm going to use this color because I think, well, maybe this one. This one's nice. This will go with a darker color and not show. So we're trying to use a thread that's not going to show no matter which color we use. So when I switch to a rust, that's less likely to show than this. Trying not to wind a bobbin as much. You could always just change the thread and have it match the needle thread every time as well. That's another option. This is a 80 weight thread, so this is half the weight of a 40 weight. The benefit of that is that it doesn't take up as much space on the back side. It's less likely to come up to the top. I'd be fine if I had my 80 12 needle as well. But we're almost sold out of that needle, so I didn't want to steal from inventory. This fabric smells like maple syrup, you guys. I had another batch of fabric that smelled like maple syrup. Have you ever had fabric have a smell like that? How many bobbins are in that set? It's 135 yards of thread, 36 different bobbins. It's really, I still have, I think I've only completely emptied one in over a year. Of course, I'm not constantly sewing. Don't do that. That's a bad habit I have. Lower the foot, bring the bobbin thread up. And now we aren't going to be seeing that bobbin thread. Much better. Elbows down, shoulders relax. And I'm going to go ahead and go all the way around the center. Try to get my fingers out of the way. And I'm not really being precise. I could be more precise if I had a smaller needle. This needle is just too large. And if you want more detail, you can use a thinner thread than I'm using on top. I want you to be able to see the thread. Now I'm going to try harder to stay on the line. Up. And I'm going to show you how you can also add to it. Can you see that? Darn, I wish that other camera worked today. So what you're not able to see is that I am adding these nice little stitches going down through the petals, just like there is a dark color. This is basically what I call thread play. You're not having to do a particular quilting design like a feather, for instance. Instead, you are tracing over the fabric that's already there. And as you progress across the quilt, you nudge this bottom frame and then bring the top frame into the corner. So that corner grab is what's keeping everything together. You can also lower your feed dogs, which I didn't do yet. There's no reason why I don't. I just forget to. You can lower them. That's the sound you just heard. And this is my position, elbows down, shoulders relaxed, and I'm steering with this little handle right here, not with my arms. That's why I'm able to have my elbow down. Both elbows are relaxed. I'm resting my hand on the bottom frame that is beneath the quilt. So you can't see that frame is there, but it is there, and you can feel it with your hand. So nothing is actually connected to anything, but when you bring the corner together, then everything is connected and it moves simultaneously. But you can see that there's nothing really attached. If you think about it too much, you'll probably go, I don't understand what's going on. And then you should just go, it's all right. You don't have to understand everything. All that matters is that it works so well. And now you can really get creative. This is what I did on the stocking, the Christmas stocking as well. So if you can find a fabric that has a really good design on it for making a Christmas or any other holiday stocking, I'm sure there's other people that use stockings. I know I've seen them all different colors. I was tempted to make one plaid today with a minky, which you could do. So this is me just chilling, hanging out with you guys. This is kind of what I want you to think about when you do quilt, is that you are just kind of resting and hanging out with your friend so that you don't overhandle the fabric and think too much about it. And since this camera angle is not good, I'm going to pull down this stocking and let you guys look at how cool it is. I will be filming this whole process. It will be recorded though. And all the way around each one of these poinsettia, I didn't just quilt with regular thread. I'm going to cut this so you can see. All right, let's see, close tight or top tight? That is the closest. So we'll go over here. That's the quilting that I did off where you couldn't really see it that well. And next week I'll have that camera figured out. This is the Christmas stocking. This pattern will be available at creativefeet.com. And as I said, the VIPs, you're going to have access to this today. So you'll know how to construct this whole thing. These techniques, this is the blanket stitch applique. Ugh, don't want to ruin my needle. So if you're interested in learning how to make this, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Baby Lock Sew Terry. Oh, yes, this is a baby lock made by Brother. This is the Crescendo. This is one of several that I own, and one I painted in a jungle theme. I also have a ocean theme machine and sunflower butterfly machine. This has been on the table for a while. Are you guys getting bored with it? I could bring out one of the other ones. And so if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and hit that like button. If you've yet to subscribe to my channel, I sure hope you'll do so today. And be sure to join my school. It's a free online school called createwithclairerowley.com. Not calm. I am covered in batting and itchy. There's going to be a major cleaning in here today. I've got a air filtration system that's going to come in and clear out dust because it's been a dusty period. And next week I shouldn't be bothered by that, and hopefully my voice will be clearer. You've been watching for a while, you just haven't chatted. Well, it's so nice that you are. I know there's a lot of people that lurk, and know that I appreciate you as well. The more you participate by chatting and also sharing and writing in the comment after this video is over, all that helps YouTube know that you're having a good time with me. And also in Facebook, if you're inside Facebook. I'm so glad nothing went wrong as far as the camera stuff, and hopefully from now on it will be that way. Know that I am posting more videos every week, as you got 3 this week, and I'm going to be doing some shorts and reels as well. Getting better at doing one thing and making several different things from it so that I can continue to give you more and more knowledge. My friend said I don't show you hard enough stuff. But I think a lot of people just don't feel that they can do a lot. So this is what I ended up doing. I still have the option of doing more. And I should, and plan to finish this on a filmed video following this show right now. So whatever I do to finish this will be a recorded video rather than the live. And next week we'll do the quilted zipper pouch so that you can make those for Christmas. I can do a double, if you're talking about the faux piping binding, I could do that. That would be nice. I could then use this, and it would just be a little bit, a tiny little bit along the edge, and then black binding. I think that would be good. And so should I decide to do that, I will be recording it and uploading it as I uploaded today's video this morning. If you haven't seen it, it is the video on how I sewed this. It's part 2 of a 2-part video on this particular rubber husband mitt. Instead of just a rubber husband, it's actually a mitt that you can wear. A great gift, I think. And this is it, just plain sunflower. This was the live. This was all recorded with edits, so you're more efficient on time if you watch one of my recorded videos. You watch the live, well, I can talk for 2 hours if allowed to. But since I am limited on time, I am going to end it. And I'll see you guys in the school. I'm also going to plan the VIP live and hopefully have that today as well so that you all know when it is. And can't wait to actually hear your voices. And hopefully everything will go smoothly on that as things are starting to look like they're going smooth around here. Just took me a few years to get it figured out. So once again, if you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button. If you've yet to subscribe to my channel, I sure hope you'll do so today. Visit createwithclairerowley.com where you can join all the other members that are in here in my social media platform that's private just for my students, and ask me questions and tell me what you want. And I'm going to be posting pictures of these different projects and adding them to the site, to the school, so you guys can get up close visuals of what it is I do live for you. Sewing live is always more challenging than recording. So when you watch my Thursday show that airs every Tuesday, you're seeing non-edited, all out there in the open. And sometimes it can be frustrating to watch, but it's also, I hope, a confidence builder so that you can see that I'm not pretending that things are going as well as they are. They actually are, unless they don't. I haven't broken a needle this year, I don't think. Have I, Amy? Love you guys. Bye. what I was saying is next Thursday is Thanksgiving, if I'm correct, and I won't be having Fabrically Speaking next Thursday, you guys. I'll let you know when I come back on. Love you. Bye.